else I can do?
A cup of coffee or something.
Ice or hot?
Margarita.
Hi, we're going to get started in about 3 minutes, but welcome in. And thank you guys for being here. You guys can crack all your jokes now and stuff. No, you don't have to behave. Okay. Voila, 3 o'clock. Okay, so we're going to start with the ball in the face. I've had a couple requests today, just so that they at home know what's going on. We're going to do face, we're going to do front of the legs, and back of the head, kind of throughout the body. So just take your ball, and I want you to start right behind the ear. Just go around the ear here. And it's not like you're rolling the ball on it. I want you to actually pull the skin. So you're right on the occipital joint, you're pulling the skin around. You might get some clicking. Any clicking? It's just me.
Like the deep skin tissue? Is that what it is?
You're just going into the fascia. It's that connective tissue and just pulling it around. And then we're going to go to the temple. Just take that temple and pull it around. Same way, just nice and gentle. Happy Tuesday. Good. And then right where the jaw separates, right through here, I want the ball in there. So if you open, it kind of sinks deeper. You can kind of the same thing, just pull it around. Or you can make the sound yah. Yah. So John, go deeper unless you found a perfect spot. Okay, hang there then. So John was with us at the 8 a.m. classes for like 2 years. Yeah, almost 2 years, but moved away.
Are you back now, John?
Oh, I wish. No, just doing some work.
Go back up to the temple. And I'm going to add some of Amber's touch to this. We're going to follow that brow line, kind of the sinuses, since we're all having a little bit of sinuses from the snow melt. Sorry about the dog hair. They are definitely shedding.
I just realized I'm like, ooh, gritty.
I'll get you a rag. And then in towards the inner part of the brow. And then work it out. Lorraine, do you have a rag? Do you have one?
Yeah, I already wiped.
I don't know if you want to. Back to the temple. I know, because I can see all the puppy hair here before we lay down.
I'm so used to dog hair, it doesn't matter.
I don't know why they're shedding so much right now. Good. And then just go back behind the ear. And then switch to the other side, right behind the ear. Also want to say before I forget, drink a ton of water. Now John needs to know this. When we melt, we're moving all that fluid, getting things to flow and flush through that fascia, and sometimes it can make us feel a little nauseous. Then bring it to the temple, move that skin around. So right from the corner of the eye. And then down into the jaw. And you can get in there and just say the word Yah. Yah, and just let it open up and sink in. Yah. And sometimes slower is better. Yah. Bring it back up to the temple. Move the temple around. We're going to go into the sinuses. So then take it and go to the next spot. Right in the brow, or maybe just a tiny bit above the brow, and just move it around. Good. And the next spot, in. Then all the way to the center of the brow. Is this helping? Can you feel it in there? And then back to the middle of the brow. If you guys at home, right in the middle. To the outside. How's it feeling, Jackie? Good. Back to the temple. And then right behind the ear. Good. And from there, just take and tuck your ball somewhere safe away from Buddha. So you can put it on your rag so it doesn't roll around. Is he out of action right now? Okay. So I'm going to have you find some tile on the floor. We're going to come up in the standing. And what I want you to do is just test your balance and rise up onto your toes. And see how grounded that you feel. Just take an inventory before we start. Bring it down, close your eyes, and do the same thing. Come up onto your toes. With the eyes shut. And bring it back down. Good. Test to spin your knees a little bit. Then take your hands down. And just stretching down. And see if you can get your palms flat. Straightening the legs. And I want you to take that measurement so you know how flexible you are right now before you start. Then bend your knees to come up out of it. And then what I want you to do is just turn around one way. And take a flexibility test here and around the other way. Flexibility test. Nice. Now laying down onto your mat, you can push both your rollers up near the top of the mat, just so they're out of the way. And we're going to lay flat on the mat. Palms are going to be facing up. You're just going to relax here. We're going to take inventory of the body laying down. So I want you to notice that the head is a mass, the neck is a space. Shoulders mass, ribs mass, waist space. Glutes mass, the back of your legs are mass. Knees space. And calves are a mass. And I want you just to feel your body here and feel this wave that goes throughout your body and flows. Then from there, I want you to divide your body into a left and right half. Is the left side maybe heavier than the right or right heavier than the left? And I want you just to take note if one side's heavier or if you're even. Take your nose all the way over to the left. And is your ear flat on the mat? Can you touch the mat with your nose? Do you feel like your opposite shoulder's trying to follow you? And then bring it back to center. Take it the opposite way. Same thing, do a little bit of a flexibility test there. See if your ear is flat on the floor. Could you touch the mat with your nose if you wanted to? And is your shoulder trying to follow you? Bring it back to center. Now there's 3 places in the body that stuck stress loves to live. It's the shoulder girdle, the diaphragm, and the pelvis. So right now we're kind of testing out and seeing where your stuck stress may be. Feeling your shoulders, they feel like they're rounded up towards the ceiling, or are they completely relaxed down into the mat? Follow that down your arms with your palms. I want you to see if you feel like your palms are facing the ceiling or the palms slightly facing you. If your knuckles were on a tile floor, would all your knuckles be on the floor when you're relaxed, or do you feel like your thumbs are curling up towards the ceiling? And just take note. Feel the back of your ribs and see if relaxed, if they're down on the mat. Take your pointer finger, place it in your navel, and I want you to feel that the small gap in your lower back is small like a Chinese footbridge, or does it feel large like it's lunging up towards the ribs? Feel your glutes. And I want you to feel that they're equally weighted and that your tailbone's lifted off the mat. If you feel your tailbone touching the mat, take note of that. We'll see if we can change it. The backs of your legs, are they down on the mat, or do you feel like they're kind of launched up off the mat? That would be pointing to that stuck stress in the pelvis. Feel your calves, they're equally weighted. And let's open our eyes and take a peek at your feet. And I want your feet 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So if you look at your feet, Are they relaxed from the ankle joint in 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock? Or are they straight out to the side or straight up? Then open your eyes and look at the ceiling. Is your eye socket straight to the ceiling or is it slightly behind you? Good. Now that we have note of where we are in the beginning, we're going to compare that to the end. Go ahead and come up and let's put the long roller underneath us. Because we're up on the mats, I want you to be careful not to roll off the mats. No dizziness today, right? Okay. John, do you feel dizzy at all? I'm going to put a chair on the side of you here just for a little bit more of a platform. So that way you can put your hand to ground if you need to. And see how they're sitting right on the end? Knees are going to stay bent. I saw you going for that. I saw you going for the straighten the legs. And with your feet there, I want them a little wider than the hips. And what we're going to do is called gentle rocking. So your nose, your sternum, and your hips are going to rock at the same time to the left and to the right. So I want the nose, the sternum, and the hips lined up. And just gently rocking side to side. Hence, gentle rocking. And just relaxing, allowing your body to melt into the roller. And then bring it back to center. I want you to take one hand and place it on your chest and one on your tummy. I want these hands in the first part of our breath, a 3D breath, to rise at the same time. Think of yourself as a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the top piece of bread's going to float to the ceiling, and the bottom piece of bread's going to float down into the roller. Inhale, push up to the top piece of bread and bottom, and inhale. Exhale, let your pieces of bread come towards each other. And again, inhale, and see if your hands are rising at the same time. And exhale. One more time, inhale, sandwich breath, we'll call this one. And exhale. Take your hands and stick them on the sides of your ribs. So we'll call this rib breath. And wrap your thumbs behind your ribs. So thumbs go behind and fingertips on top. There we go. And push out to the sides. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. Sorry guys at home, I just realized my mic fell. Hello, sorry about that. And again, inhale. And exhale. Good. From there, we're going to place one hand on the clavicle and one hand down on the pubic bone, just like a big fig leaf. Inhale, and as you do, I want you to push the crown of your head and down to the pelvic floor. Just stretch your spine with your breath. And exhale. And again, inhale through the crown of the head, down through the pelvic floor. And exhale. And one more time, lengthening through the crown of the head, down to the pelvic floor, and exhale. Nice. We're going to take all 6 points of that breathing and make it into a beach ball. So I want you to think of yourself as a deflated beach ball and inhale into all 6 points. So inhale and expand all 6 directions, sandwich, ribs, and lengthening the spine. And exhale. And again, inhale, lengthen every which way, pushing through that beach ball, expanding it. And exhale. One more. Inhale, lengthening every which direction. And exhale. And with this breath, see if you're much more in this room now with the breath and calming your whole system down. Can you guys feel that? Maybe. Donna? Jackie, can you feel it? John?
Not so shallow.
Good. Okay. Lorraine, you feel it? We were just talking about breath this morning, John and I. I want you to take a yoga block and put it in your hands. And I want you to go straight arms and hold that yoga block halfway between. So take a peek at it. Is it over your pubic bone or is it halfway between your ribs and your hips? There you go. And let's put some tension on that yoga block and give it a squeeze. And from there, I want you to keep your arms straight, but let your scapula drape over the roller. Good. And then just reach the hands. And then allow your scapula to drape. And reach the hands. And allow your scapula to drape. Good. So holding there, take this yoga block and start to pull it like it's banana taffy. So you're going to take and just start pulling on it out to the side. And keep pulling on it. Kelly, how are you, beautiful? Absolutely. Just put them up on the locker up there. Thank you. Happy New Year's. So, yeah, big hugs, air hugs. Okay, holding this large beach ball here, reach those arms all the way out. So, John, take a peek at me and see how my hands are just. You hurting? Okay, roll off the roller just for a moment and give yourself a break. You can come all the way off. And I want you to bring one hand back and one hand in. And then switch. There you go. And just go side to side. It's like you're flossing. Just floss it back and forth. Good, back and forth. And just at the same time you're doing this, think about your beach ball breath. And now take both hands and pull them backwards. And like your Spider-Man, you're shooting webs across the room. Make sure those hands are still halfway between the ribs and the hips. Good. And now palms face down. And go one facing down, one up, and switch. So look, Dawn, it's like this. One hand down and one hand up. There you go. Yeah. And just back and forth, flossing that fascia. And if you keep that tensional pull, like you're pulling on that taffy, you'll feel it even more. Same thing, but close the fist. One goes up, one goes down, and switch. How we doing, John? Okay. Just take your time. Too much on the spine. Okay. Do whatever you need to feel better, okay? Okay. Good. And then from there, I want you just to lay those hands down and just slightly off the mat. So it's like your hands are draping off the sides of the mat. Let your scapula drape. Take those fingertips and smear them backwards as if they were trying to look at the trim above the crown of your head. So you're just smearing backwards with those hands. Reach the hands and have tensional pull. Nice. Take your nose and take it to the left. Just don't pick it up, but just let it fall to the left. Now holding it to the left, let your rib cage go to the left. And then take your nose, keep it there to the left, but just lift it up like you're trying to sniff something good in the air, like lavender. Nice. Drop your right elbow ever so slightly just to increase that tensional pull. So you're kind of reaching those fingertips back. And you'll start to feel it in the back of the neck and down through the shoulder. Bring it back to center and let your ear fall over to the right. So the ear falls to the right, your rib cage falls to the right, and smear your fingertips back behind you. Good. Sniff the air so you can smell the lavender that I have going with the aromatherapy. And drop your left elbow just ever so slightly to create that more tensional pull. And remember, anytime you can come out of this, good. And then bring it back to center. Okay, with your eyes open so we're balanced, I'm going to have you straighten one leg or the other and roll off the roller. And then you're going to take that roller, you're going to scoot up so your feet don't hit these bars, straight legs. And we're going to put the roller right underneath our hamstrings. Doing better? Okay, rest whenever you need to. Okay, so you're just going to go underneath the hamstrings And you're gonna scoot up where you don't hit these bars if your legs are straight. There you go. And I want you just to take the knees and turn them out and send those legs out to the side. And the knees roll in and bring it back in. Legs be heavy, but your back relaxed. So I don't want any pressure on the back. Good. Just breathe your beach ball breath, keeping you out of your primitive brain, out of fight or flight, and just relaxed. Go down about 2 inches or 1.5 inches, a little bit lower on that hamstring. Good. The knees go out to the side and pull back in. If you guys at home, if you don't have one of the melt rollers, I just want you to make sure that your roller can face. If your roller is too tight, too thick, or too stiff to do that, get rid of it and get a nice, soft, if you can, melt roller. Nice. Just out and then like you're pulling that fascia on the back of the leg. One more time. We're going to switch from this roller into our chubby roller. So you can use the short one that's right above your head. And you're going to place that one underneath your left calf and your other one can just set to the side. So underneath the left calf, and where I want it is right underneath that beefcake part. You just want it nice and straight. And then what you want is that this heel is directly underneath the tailbone. And then cross the other leg on top. Now the trickiest part of this is just to relax the feet completely. Relax your back, and if your lower back hurts at all, you can put your thumbs underneath your sacrum. I want you to bend your left knee about 3 inches, relaxing the feet, and straighten. Now, as you're bending that knee in and out, add a swirl to it or a circle. So in melt, we call this a smurl. Smurling. Relaxing the lower back. Again, if you feel the lower back at all, your hands go underneath your tailbone. Check your feet, are they relaxed? And then reverse the circle. Nice. And take that roller and go down about 2 inches. Or maybe there's a spot that's calling to you. Go to that spot. Cross your leg again. Check your lower back that it's happy. Your shoulders are relaxed. The back of your head's relaxed. Good. And just bend in and out, completely relaxing the feet. There you go. Dead, floppy fish feet. And add a small circle so that you're smurling. Doesn't that feel lovely? You do mine while you're there too. And then reverse the circle the other way. Does that help your back, John? Okay. Let me know if you want cushions. Good. Now hold the roller still, and I want you just to rock in and out. So the roller's still, but you're just going in and out. A little sharing. So it's like you would roll this way. Go in and out. Yeah. And so are you finding a tough spot in your calf? Okay. So the lower calves, if they're sore than the upper calf, it usually points to instability in the hips. So it might be a possibility. The other thing to know is if you find an old leftover Easter egg inside your calf, just come to the border of it. Don't even roll over it. And as you roll away from the border of it, you're pulling fluid through it and breaking it apart. Good. Let's switch to the other calf, right in the beefcake part. The biggest part of the calf. When you look down, make sure that heel's lined up with your tailbone. cross your other leg over and just bend 3 inches. Again, checking that your back, your shoulders, your neck are relaxed. To getting in your ribs. Let me know if you want cushions to like cushion that up. Do you want me to roll up some cushions? Hand them to you. Circle the other way. Okay, so here's a rolled up cushion. Tell me when, right here? Okay. Better? Okay. And then take that roller and press it down. Good. Cross your leg over. And just small bends without using your lower back, without using your feet. Relax your feet, your shoulders, again, your lower back. Small circles. Circle the other way. Yummy. Big focus on legs today, but we'll also get up in the back of that neck, in the front of those shins. Good. Now hold the roller still and just rock side to side, and just gentle. But again, if you're finding leftover Easter eggs or marbles, what I want you to do is just roll up to the border of that. And as you roll away, you're pulling fluid through. So you never want to get in there and like punch it in the face. You want to come up and just gently come up to the border of it and just walk away and pull that fluid with you. Nice. Good. From there, we're going to carefully sit up. So you never want to sit up like Count Dracula and just whoop, sit straight up. So I want you to take your knees to the side and roll up. And we're going to place the rollers underneath our shins to start. Do you remember how to do it? Okay. So, yeah. So shins up on top, and that you're supporting yourself with your hands. And just slowly roll down the shins and back, using your core. Good. We never want this to be painful, but maybe like a little bit of wasabi. Now, if you're happy there, stay there. But if you want, take your hips slightly to the left and just investigate that area, kind of like you're tiptoeing through a field of green grass of fascia. Just kind of slow through it. Good. Take your hips the opposite way. And if your wrists get tired or your shoulders, you can drop down just like John did, down to the forearms. Nice. Let's do one more. And then I want to demonstrate what we're going to do for our quads. So come on down off of it. And Donna, are you okay if I use your mat? Okay. So the perfect candidate in how to do this one wrong, because I have a super scooper in my back. And so I like to get lazy in it. But you're not going to let it get lazy at all. And we're just going to do one leg at a time. So I want you to go one knee out to the side. So this does vary a little bit from melt. And what I want you to do is just kind of roll back and forth. And then once you find a spot, you're going to bend in and out. Now, what can go wrong here is if you release your core and you're in that lower back. So I really want you to kind of tuck the tail and pull up through your core, and so you're never hanging out here. But one knee out to the side, one on, which is a little bit different than our melt.
It's on my hips.
Right on the quads.
Quads.
Yeah, and just kind of run down that quad a little bit, and maybe you'll find a place that's a little tender, not too tender. Good. Pull that core up and in. And once you find a spot that's maybe a little tender, I want you just to relax, but not your lower back, and bend in and out. So keep it tight in the core, relax the leg, and bend in and out. Did everyone find a spot? Okay. If you're loving this, thank Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
Isn't this great? Good. One more, and keep your knee bent at a 90-degree angle. And then we're going to take that foot and just wag it side to side. Nice. So bring the foot back up. Maybe you can even straighten it out. And I want you to look around on that quad and see if there's another spot that needs some attention. Good. And from here, once you find that spot, keep your core on, but bend and press out about 5 to 7 times. Keeping that core on, keep it bent after 5 or 7 times, and just wag it back and forth, side to side. Good. And release. Do you guys need a break off your shoulders for a second? Okay, I got a couple, yes. Okay, from there, we're gonna, remember what leg you just did. Call it out to yourself. I just did my right leg, or I just did my left leg, so you remember. We're gonna sit on the roller and do our sacrum just to get ourselves off of that position. The hands go behind us. We're doing our triangle or our sacrum. And what I want you to do is bend the knees and roll into that area and just rolling and melting that sacrum. Yeah, so it just kind of gives you a different position with your arms for a moment. So Amber's with us at home. That's one person I know for sure has joined in. So, hi Amber, love you. And now take your hands in front of you and you're gonna roll the sit bones. So it's like right on the attachment, the hamstrings come in, or just right in the area. And this kind of takes a moment to relax and let it get right into that sit bone area. And you can move it back and forth. You feel good on your shins? Ski shins. Hey, Gavin. You can check me and make sure I'm rolling right. So Gavin's my IT man who's made this YouTube live possible. His older brother ordered the equipment and he installed it.
Thank you, Kevin.
Can you say hi to everybody? You can say hi to everybody at home too. This is Gavin. Made this all possible. Okay, now from there, just pause for a moment, take a beach ball breath, and we're gonna take that roller and go underneath the opposite quad. It's coming down. You can be on hands or elbows. So Gabby, will you check on your phone and see if it's coming through live? Okay. So on the other one, I want you just to roll back and forth on that quad. So you're just feeling it. And what I want you to be looking for is a tender spot. Not too tender, but tender. And once you find it, pause. And keep your core on. Keep your tail tucked so you're not in your lower back. And we're going to bend in and out. Gavin, do you want the stool? It's right there. In and out. Did you guys find a spot? Okay. And after 5 or 7 of these, I want you just to wag it back and forth. So keep it a 90-degree angle and just wag it side to side. Isn't this great?
I'm melting, I'm melting.
Good. Now let's find another spot. So straighten the leg and look for another spot. Yeah, that one might be a little too much wasabi. And just bend in and out, keeping that core on. Buddha, we hear you. And then keep it bent and wag it side to side. And then straighten the leg and come out of it. We're going to sit down on the mat and we're going to place this roller right at the ankle of your right foot. So right at the ankle of your right foot. And I like to use the other foot, plant it down, kind of use it as a rudder. So instead of your shoulders doing the work, you're using that foot to kind of pull you around. And I want you to turn your knee in, and I want you to push the fluid up the inside of the leg, turn it out and pull back. And as you're doing this, really relax those feet. Not that I'm watching your foot. Completely. There you go. Just slide forward. Good. Now as you're doing this, you're going to go up the inside. There you go. See how Jackie's sliding back and forth? You can do that unless it's hurting your ribs and shoulder. And then hang out and just do it here by bending the knee. About 5 to 7 of these, and then we're going to go above the knee joint. Relaxing the foot. Good. Right above the knee joint. You never want to roll your joints. So you want to go above. Push the fluid up the inside. So now go here. But you never want to be right under a joint. And then out. And then back in. Just never get underneath that knee. And to push the fluid up the inside, knee goes out, to pull it down the outside. And you can pull it down the outside or pull it down the back. It's up to you. How's it going, G? Good. Switch to the other ankle. Good. Turn in, press up, and then out. Is this anything you thought it would be?
Oh, much better.
Oh, good. Be ready for tomorrow's class.
Yeah, I think so.
Are we up? Yes? Okay, go above the knee. So 5 to 7 is about your number. Good. Turn that knee in, push that fluid up the inside, turn it out and pull it either down the back or out to the side. From 5 to 7. I could do this all day long. Gavin, I think I forgot to turn comments off. Okay, but nothing's coming through. Thank you. Then my mic fell down my shirt. Good. And after 5 to 7, just pause. That's called rinsing the legs. From there, I'm going to have you slowly roll down onto your back. You can turn to your side and roll onto your back. You can just slowly roll down. And we're going to take this roller and put it up underneath our hips. Now, if you were to feel this bony part of the hips, I want you to feel that. And if you tiptoe your fingers down, what you're going to feel is a dip. And right where that dip is, you got the bony part. And then right where that dip is, right there. If you go straight down, you'll be right in the middle of that roller. Turn your core and bend one knee in, but let your heel go slack and bring the other knee in. So bring one knee in and then the other. There we go. And then his heels are just slack and let all the stress just rinse off the feet. Take the feet just slightly to the left side. That means that your right knee is lined up with your left nostril, and make about 8-inch circles, small circles. And then hold right there, and I want you to make a march. So marching the legs. So your core is on, your ribs are still. You can even let the knees.
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you feel it in there pulling the fascia around?
Right back in here.
Yeah. And then bring your knees together and pause and just take a beach ball breath. And take it slightly over to the right side. So now that your left knee is lined up with your right nostril, make sure that your feet are relaxed and hanging down in small circles. And then pause there and make a small march. So just let those knees pass each other in a small march. And bring your awareness to that fascia in the back of those hips and pelvis. Good. Then bring your knees together and just hold them still and take a beach ball breath, allowing your fascia to adapt to the work that we just did. Bring it back to center. You're going to take your left foot down to the mat. You're going to hug your right knee in. Good. And as you're pulling that knee in, you're going to tuck your tail. Good. So really try to drop the ribcage down into the mat. Good. Now holding there, I want you to feel all 4 points of the foot. So you're going to feel that foot and be sure that it's flat on the mat, that knee straight from the hip, and don't let the foot be on the outside edge. I want you to shoot the knee. So the energy is flowing through that knee so that you'll feel the front of the left quad. And it's not quad, it's actually the fascia through that quad, just opening and being stretched. Like you stuck a shirt in a dryer and you took it out and it's all shrunk up, and you're just now pulling it open. Good. Keep that awareness, but switch legs. So now all 4 points of the right foot are on the mat, and that knee is straight out from the hip. Good. And really feel that foot, all 4 points, that you're not leaning to the outside of the foot. Shoot lasers through and pull the rib cage down and really hug that knee into the chest. Like you're doing a big cannonball jump into a pool, making a huge splash. This one's a lot tighter. Feel the front of that leg. Nice. Good. From there, switch legs. So the left foot goes down. I want you to go flat with your pelvis. So let your tailbone be heavy as if there's a bowling ball attached to your tailbone, and bring your right knee into your chest. From there, I'm going to have you point the toes to the ceiling. We're going into what's called drawbridge. So point the toes to the ceiling. Good. And actually, I'm sorry, we're going to actually tilt the pelvis. I want you to pull pubic bone to nose and drop that lower back down. From there, slowly drop that right foot, so you're pointing the toe, straight leg, and you're slowly gonna let it drop down until it's all the way resting into your fascia. So left foot's on the mat, good. Foot reaches up, point the toe, good. Tuck tail, I was wrong in the beginning, and I want you to lower down until it's bouncy and springy. So when you have it resting in your fascia, it's resting. And the only thing it's on is that core to keep that lower back down into the mat. And I could jump on this like a jumping board, like a diving board.
Are we going to the mat or no? Just above and holding?
Go as far as, you'll feel like your whole fascia suit will catch that leg. Do you feel that? The only way it would touch the mat is if you let your,
Or it would just let the leg go? Okay. So we hold it.
yeah, see that, feel that fascia holding it. Lorraine, lower back a little bit more to the mat. Pull pubic bone to neck. More. There. Now reach your right arm up, and the arm is straight, but it's level with your cheekbone. And I want you to shoot lasers to those fingertips. And then pick up your head and place your left ear down on the mat. And really reach those fingertips. Height. Tucking tail, try to get that lower back down. Good. And bring it back to the center. Let's place that foot on the mat and bring your left knee into your chest. Good. Bring it in and then lay ceiling, point your toes, tuck your tail. So this is a tilt. Your lower back's down towards the mat and slowly lower it down until you feel your whole big onesie pajama suit zip up of fascia catch you. So we're always looking for that fascia, and the more we play with our fascia, the more we recognize it. Audio okay? Good. From there, lift your left arm up, shoot lasers at its cheekbone height, and stretch those fingers one way and the leg the other way while trying to set that lower back down on the mat, tucking tail. Lift the head up and place your right ear down on the mat. So let that right ear just relax down on the mat. And just hold that. Ribs are down. Good, and release. Okay, from there I want both feet flat on the mat. Now we'll make the tailbone heavy. So tailbone's heavy. We'll go into my absolute favorite one, hip to heel press. I want you to keep your quads even and straighten the right leg. Good. And we're going to flex the foot this time. So pull the toes back and shoot lasers through that heel. So feel that energy shooting through the heel. Keeping your tailbone heavy, sneak up onto that fascia, just like tiptoe through the green field of fascia. And then all of a sudden you find it and just hang there for a moment. You feel it, John? So you feel the fascia on the back of the leg? Okay. Turn that whole leg out. So it's like looking out the side window. And then slowly bring it across your midline of your body. Now you can also take your left knee and slightly tilt it towards the midline of the body. You're still shooting lasers through the heel, pulling the toes back. And I want you to feel that stretch. Everybody feels this different. I feel it in the bottom of my foot because I have some tight fascia in the bottom of my feet, or it did. But that's normally where I feel it. Some people feel it through the calf. Some people feel it through the IT in that region, that area through the fascia. Good. Bring the foot down to the mat. Keep the quads even. And straighten out your left leg so the quads are even. Flex the foot, shoot lasers. And slowly sneak up until you feel that fascia start to pull. Let your tailbone be even heavier. Nice. Your shoulders are down and open. And turn that whole leg out to the side and take it across the midline. Shooting lasers. Just breathing with it. Good. And then slowly bring that down. Let's lift both legs up into kind of a sloppy tabletop. So the knees are directly over the pubis bone or slightly over the navel. And let your heels slack down so your shins aren't parallel. Just let them slack. And I want you to put your hands on your thighs, like stop in the name of love. Drop your shoulders and put some tension on those thighs. With the tension on the thighs, the knees are still. You're going to tuck tail and tilt pubic bone to nose. And keeping the pressure on your thighs, then tilt the tailbone away from you. Let the tailbone get heavy. We're going to move slowly, tuck of the pelvis and tilt. Beautiful. And tuck, feel the fascia in the lower back and tilt. And just slowly going through this, you'll start to feel it opening up your lower back. So that fascia is pulling up. Right up to that lower back and just open it all up. One more. Good. And release it down. Good. We'll bring the feet down to the mat and pull the roller out from underneath. I think we're going to stay with this roller right now. And I want 1 inch above your scapula tips. So 1 inch above the scapula tips. So if you were to lay on it and you feel your scapula here, that tip of Africa will be on your heel side of the roller. And the hands go behind the head, and I really want you to let that head be heavy in your hands. And bring your elbows, let's go ahead and go out to the side for a moment. Now, I'm standing on your rib cage. So I took my foot and I climbed up on and I'm pulling that rib cage down. So that rib cage can't move. And I want you to open up just your sternum. So just barely opening up that sternum without the lower ribs moving at all. How far can you go without the rib cage moving? And sometimes it doesn't move at all. Now bring it halfway up, and I want you to take your left armpit to your left hip. Good. Now let's hold it there and push all your air into your right rib cage, stretching out that right rib cage. Push all that air, and let's do that twice. Love this one. If you've ever had adhesion in your diaphragm or throughout the rib or the region of the ribs, this feels so good. Now bring it back to center and take your right armpit to your right hip and breathe into your left side. Make sure your head's relaxed. There's no tension in the shoulders. Good. And then bring it back to center. Keeping your head heavy in your hands, I want you to bring your elbows in like you're holding a yoga block. Holding that yoga block there, squeeze it. And I want you to put silly smiley stickers on your elbows. And I want your elbows to be facing your quads. So kind of curl. Good. Drop that lower back. And so your elbows are facing the quads. And I want you to lift your hips up just 1/4 of an inch. Now your hips are 1/4 inch off the mat. And we're going to roll the top part of our thoracic spine. So that's bro strap or bra strap up. So we're just rolling this area. 5 to 7 times, general rule. So at home, you can roll areas longer, like on the back of your legs or the front of your legs, but never roll your back or the back of your head longer than 5 to 7 times. You'll pay for it the next day. And drop the hips. And I want you to imagine you have a child safety cap between your spine and the roller, and just go side to side. Do you remember Dawn always saying, child safety cap? Dawn that was here this summer. Do you remember that? So every time I think child safety cap, I remember Dawn. I haven't checked on her. Yeah, let her know we're doing this. She can join in live with us. Inches closer to you. So we're going to start at that bro line or the bra line. And I want you just to roll a little bit above it and a little bit below it. Lift the hips just 1/4 of an inch. Keep your smiley stickers smiling at your quads so that rib cage stays low. Just keeping this real low. So you want to think about rolling this side of your roller and not this side of your roller. This side. Yes, there it is. Good. Anybody get crunchies? I've got crunchies there. Yeah. That's why you want to drink a ton of water. Then drop the hips And go side to side. And bring it back to center and just pause. Let's take a beach ball. Good. And let's take that and go a little bit lower. So down from the bra line, down on all the supportive ribs. But if it's that small, just those hips are just lifted ever so slightly so that you're rolling. And I have discovered that if I reach my hands out in front of me, it's easier on my neck. Try to reach your hands past those knees. And I like that better. What do you think, Donna? You like a neck right there? Hands here? Kind of.
We're doing this one.
That one feels best? Yeah, that's where I like it, right there. How's that rib doing, John? Maybe we'll put it in.
I think so. It felt like it just popped in. So,
Drop the hips. Good. Have your elbows smiling at your quads and just go side to side. Think about your beach ball breath and bring it back to center. We're going to go into rinsing. So I want you to walk your feet away and put that roller up high. But if you need to, you can sit up and give your nervous system everything a break too. Or you can put that roller right here. And we're going to steamroll that spine. So what I want you to do is lift the hips just ever so slightly. Good. And you're going to roll across that roller and push all the fluid down your spine. Just roll all the way down. Drop the hips, pause for a moment, allow that fluid to keep moving, and then reset, pull it back in. And then steamroll it all the way down, pause, and then reset. And that pause allows that fluid to continue, like you stuck your hand in the bathtub of fluid and you're stirring it, and you take your hand out, that fluid will still keep going. That's that pause. Good, so smear all that fluid down the spine. Then drop the hips, pause, and then roll back. Nice. And you might start inchworming up. Let's do 2 more, just like that. Steamroll, drop the hips, pause, and reset. And something I've noticed through a couple of years of doing this is that this likes to pull your shirts off and your sweatshirts and pull your hair. And I just want you to take your time, pause, and reset. Good, let's come out of it. And I want you to grab your small roller. So your small circumference, but long roller, and let's place it right behind our ear canal. So instead of the chubby one, go the other one when you're ready. Oh, you have the thick one. Is it okay on your neck? You sure? Okay. So right here, I want you to think about your ears doing the backstroke. So it's like one ear reaches back and then swimming in the pool, and then the other way. And then you're just side to side swimming. Right, like, yeah, right behind the ear bone. Right there, yeah. And then take your ears as if they're swimming and doing the backstroke backwards. Bend those knees, the back is relaxed. Did you? Yes, you guys at home, it's just like your ears are doing the backstroke. The other way to think about it is if you were doing a figure 8 on the ceiling. If you guys can do a figure 8 on the ceiling or the backstroke. You never want to have that roller underneath your neck, so never allow it to get underneath that neck. I like it to be above the hairline. And just take your nose slightly to the left and like a 45-degree angle, and let's just make small circles there. And then take it over to the other side, to the right, and make small circles. Good, then bring it back to center. And I want you to roll that roller up another 1.5 inches. From where it's at the ear canal, go up 1.5 inches. And I have to hold on to the roller here because it likes to get away from me. And I want you to hold a white plate parallel to the ceiling on the plate of your face. So think of the face plate here, holding that plate. And I gave you 6 green olives. You're going to slightly roll those olives towards your chin by lengthening the back of your neck. And just feel that lengthen in the back of your neck. Good. And then lift the chin up and let those olives just slowly roll to the forehead part of your plate, but not so fast that they bloop over the lip. And I want you just to tilt back and forth slowly, as if I was picking you up and you were a kitten, but I'm picking you up by the scruff of your neck. And you'll feel that faster, just ever so slightly opening up. Good. One more. Nice. Now just take that roller and toss it above your head. And you're going to lay with now your legs straight and your palms are facing up. So that capital A position where your hands are off to the side. And we're going to take inventory again of the body. So your head is a mass, your neck is a space, your shoulders are a mass. Ribs, mass, waist, space. Glutes, mass. Backs of the legs, hopefully even more mass. Backs and knees, space. And I want you to connect into this wave that goes throughout your body. And if you can connect better into this wave, just wiggle your fingers. So I know that you're more connected and in your body. Good, all 4 of you guys. Good, hope you guys at home can feel that. And then I want you to divide your body into a left and a right half. And earlier, if you were heavier on the left or the right, can you feel that you're more centered? If so, just wiggle your fingers. Okay, a couple of you guys got that, good. And then from there, I want you to feel the back of your head, how it's just mushy now. Do you guys feel the difference in the back of the neck or in the back of the head and it just feels mushy? Good. Feel the shoulders, are they a little bit more relaxed? Nice. Go all the way down to the arms and see if you were to relax your hands, if your thumbs are a little bit more lower down towards the floor, like all your knuckles would be on the floor if you had our hands on tile floor. Good. Turn your neck all the way to the left. Take a measurement. Take it all the way over to the right. Take a measurement and bring it back to center. Good. You guys feel more flexibility there? Okay. From there, feel the back of your ribs. Did your ribs settle down into the mat? Nice. And point to your belly button. And in that belly button, that small space, remember that Japanese footbridge? Did it become a little bit more smaller? Did it become like take and go down more towards your glutes and your ribs? Did anybody feel it change shape? Okay, nice. Feel your glutes that they're equally weighted and see if your tailbone feels a little bit more lifted off the mat. Wow, good. Feel the backs of your legs that are grounded down into the mat. And let's take a peek at our feet. See if they feel a little bit more relaxed. You guys see a difference? Okay. Open your eyes, look at the ceiling, and see if your eye socket is straight to the ceiling and not behind you. Did anyone get a change on that one? Okay. And that should feel better on your sinuses too, doing that work. Okay. Bend your knees and let's come up into standing. Let's find some tile. And I want you to come up onto your toes and balance. Welcome back. And then come down, close your eyes, and do the same thing. Come up onto your toes and balance. And do we feel more balanced? Nice. Then bring it down, bend your knees, and just kind of do a melt down, taking your hands all the way down to the floor. Good. And take a measurement again. And see. Straightening the legs if you're more flexible. If you're on the first knuckle or you're on the second knuckle or hands flat, can you touch your elbows to the floor? That'd freak everybody out. And then from there, I want you to bend your knees and roll back up. And we're going to turn our car one way and feel the difference in our spine, more flexibility, and then the other way. You guys feel that one? Right on. So we're just going to shake everything out. Good. And just to make sure your nervous system is on, give it a little pop. Or not. Bye, guys at home. Thank you so much. I hope it worked out. Sorry about the mic in the beginning. Well, we'll see how that goes out there, Cyberland.